Okay, good afternoon, everyone. This is Deacon from NovaStar. Today's topic, we're gonna talk about the 4K solution. As we know, the pixel pitch is becoming smaller and smaller, right? So in the same dimension, and the pixel becoming more and more. Let's say first is the 4K screen here. Let's say what we need to do a 4K screen design. What should we do? Let's say necessary information. The first is what is the total resolution of the whole screen, right? So we need to know the whole pixel. The second is what is the video source that you use. That's really important. Like someone just has a DVI input, HDMI input, yeah, just like that. And the third one will be additional requirement, for the 4K screen, So it should have the high quality. So it might have some special requirement from the customer, right? So we need to make sure the necessary information, okay? All right, let's say what kind of options do we have within a 4K resolution project? Let's say, all right, I think you do really familiar with this device, right? 660, and this one, right? It's about the VX4S, and what else? The MCTRL R5 and MCTRL 4K and Nova Pro UHD Junior or Nova Pro UHD. All right, let's say what if we are going to use the 660? Let's say the diagram here. For the 4K screen, if we are going to use the pure controller like 660, what we should do? First, we need the control PC here to give the video source to the video splicer, and then the video splicer give the video out to the pure sending card and do the mosaic. So that's really important part. So we could just use computer, video splicer, and the pure sending card here to mosaic a 4K by 2K screen. So this is the diagram. So what we have to do on the software, because we should let the device know what it will do. Let's say, as we know, we are going to use 4 devices here, right? Let's say this. We have 4 now. So you have to click each device and give the correct mapping here. I mean the screen connection, yeah, whatever you call that, the screen connection and mapping. We have to do that and then send it to each sending card. That's what we have to do on the software settings. Then you could get a real 4K by 2K screen. All right, as you know, NovaStar not only have the pure sending card, still we have the all-in-one controller. Then what if we use all-in-one controller? So before that question, let's say what is all-in-one controller? The all-in-one controller means the pure sending card integrates the video processor. So it has the video processing function inside of the device. So let's say that. For this part, we are going to use the VX4S. So we could say, what is the difference between the pure sending card? It doesn't have the video splicer, right? The video splicer. So as we can see here, just from the control PC, give the video signal like the DVI, right? And by using DVI loop to use all the devices here, but someone will just ask, what if I'm going to use HDMI? I have to say the answer is no. Why? Because it only got the DVI loop, so the input should be DVI as well. You could not use the HDMI in and use the DVI loop out. That's the point. And still the same thing, We are going to use, right, the 4 pieces of VX4S here. And also you could say the USB cable to cascade the 4 devices here and do the mosaic to make the real 4K by 2K screen. And still the same, what we have to do on the software, let's say. See, that's becoming easier, right? What we have to do is just make it as the whole page. That's enough. Yeah, just in the same page, that's enough. And what we have to select is you got the synchronizations, the synchronous function features, and also tell the software the total resolution here. So that's really important when we are trying to use the VX4S, All right, let's say for the all-in-one controller, not only we can use the software to give the command to the devices, right? Still, we could use the hardware settings. Yes, we have to use the hardware to site. Let's say, what is that? First, click the knob, and then try to go to the image mosaic. We could choose equal or unequal, and I will just explain that one later. So for this part, it's only about how we can sight the screen via using front panel, and the logic I will just explain later. Okay, that's the GIF. We also saw that you got the equal division and unequal division, right? So what is about equal division? For example, we are trying to do the real 4K screen here, and we divided it 2 by 2, right? It just got the cross here 2 by 2, and all the same division and also the same pixels. So we choose the equal division. So what we have to do on the hardware, the front panel, we have to tell the device the total wave pixel is 3840 and total height pixels is 2160. And the mosaic row quantity will be 2 and the mosaic columns quantity will be 2 as well. And the load area position, tell the first device load the top left corner and second top right corner, whatever, it depends. And let's say sometimes it's not really we can just divide them by the same pixels, the same resolution here. What should we choose? Then we could just choose unequal division. That's really important part. Actually, it's a little bit same as equal division. The only difference is we have to tell each device loading area. For example, here, the total wave pixels is 3840 by 2160. But once if the devices load different resolution, and then we have to tell the device. The first is 9022, 1080, and maybe the second one will be 9022 by 12,000 or 1200. Yes. So we have to tell each device. And also the important thing is load area start X. It's about the coordinate. We have to move the coordinate to the proper way, and then it could just mosaic the full screen. Yes, this is by the USB cascade. And for the video source, as I said, we have to use DVI in and DVI loop. Actually, for some different devices, it may have HDMI in and HDMI loop out. Then you have to use HDMI. All right. For the 4K screen, let's say for the 4K screen, I think you may just mind these things. You got lots of cables, right? It's really hard to do the maintenance. And if the screen got black or flashing, and then it's really hard to do the troubleshooting here, right? So let's say, yeah, we call help because they got many cables, many devices. It's really take time to find the problem out. Then what we NovaStar do, we write a new product here. Let's say we use MCTRL R5. It's got bigger loading capacity, but it's still the pure sending card. Let's say what's the difference? What's the difference between this R5 and MCTRL 660? So the same thing is still we're going to use video splicer, but the device we only need 2 here. And also you can see the DVI is not the normal DVI anymore. It's trying to use the dual link DVI. Right? We got two devices here, and still the same diagram to run this 4K by 2K screen. All right, still the same. Let's say what we have to do on the software. Still, first of all, we need to cascade those 2 R5 together. And then you could just find those 2 devices here on the screen connection page. And still, we have to give the correct mapping and screen connection and send it to each controller. And then we do the mosaic by the video splicer. And then we could get a real 4K by 2K screen. So is that really enough? I don't really think so, because let's say, finally we got the product named MCTRL 4K. Still, it's a pure sending card. We have to use the video processor. I think most of you have the project like, how can I explain that? Just the video source resolution is not really matched to the physical screen resolution. That's the reason why we need the video processor here, right? Yes, I think you must guess what the next one. Yes, just the 4K all-in-one controller. Yes, it is. Let's say the diagram here. The control PC give the video signal to the video processor. Yeah, HDMI, DP, or DVI, whatever you want. And still, they got a USB and Ethernet cable here to give the control command to the MCTRL 4K. And the one 4K just could load the real 4K by 2K screen here. All right, what is the next? Yes, we could just remove the video splicer. And we could just use the latest project from NovaStar, the 4K level all-in-one controller, Nova Pro UHD Junior. And what you have to, on the front side, is only the 4K computer. So let's say the diagram is becoming simple than never before. We just need the 4K computer, give the real 4K video source, HDMI, DP, or 2 PCs, dual link DVI, and directly to the Nova Pro UHD Junior, and then to load the 4K by 2K screen. And also, what do we have to do on software settings? Exactly, yes, we have to do the screen connection. And then you just need to choose different port here. That's enough. That's enough. All right. Oh, from those example, we could say for the real 4K screen, we could have those kind of solutions. It just depends on you what you want to use. Let's say the first, the M Control 660, it got 2.3 million pixels loading capacity. It supports HDMI and DVI video input, and also 4 ports, I mean Ethernet or RJ45, the LED outputs, and it only supports single link DVI. And also the next one, the VX4S-N. Still the same loading capacity is 2.3 million pixels, and this is the all-in-one controller, so it got the auto scale features, and still it got 4 ports. What's more, it got the PIP features, so you could just open 2 windows on that. And let's say the MCTRL R5, the pure sending card with higher loading capacity. It's just using HDMI 1.4, which means it's just a 4K by 1K resolution. Yes, and I bet you got RAM here. It's not 8.8 million pixels, and still it got a DP 1.2 pixels. DP 1.2 connector, and still we have the dual link DVI here. Moreover, for this device, the MCTRL R5, it supports more advanced features like 3D, HDR, and low latency. Yes, low latency. And it still have the fiber outputs. You know the reason why we need to use fiber? Because sometimes in that project, the control room is really far away from the real screen. So we need to use fiber and also to use the fiber converter like CVT 4K or CVT 10. And let's say the next device here, the MCTRL 4K, it's the high-end pure sending card actually, because it integrates the HDMI 2.0, DP 1.2, which is all for the real 4K resolution. And also they got 2 dual link DVI. That means it's really flexible to you to choose the video processor in the front side. And also it supports the 8.1 million pixel. That's a real one, huh? And also the advanced features, it supports 3D HDR and low latency, and still it got the fiber outputs. Let's say the latest one, latest product from NovaStar, and also this page is last one. Nova Pro UHD Junior. For this is an all-in-one controller. This is all-in-one controller that integrates the video processing functions. The first, it got the HDMI 2.0, HDMI 2.0 and the loop. So that means we have to use HDMI to do the loop. We cannot give the DP signal in and HDMI loop out. No. And second, it supports the single link DVI and dual link DVI. And also it has 12G SDI and loop. DP 1.2, it also got the chain lock. And for the loading capacity, it up to 10.4 million pixels. You may get questions. Why it's 10.4 pixels, but for the MCTRL 4K, it only got 8.8 million pixels. Actually, we got the same quantities of the RJ45 connectors. Actually, the answer is for the Nova Pro UHD Junior, this is all-in-one controller. So it could do the zoom in and zoom out. I mean, just the auto scaler like that. So it just supports more pixels here. And also for the Nova Pro UHD Junior, It supports 3 layers plus 1 BKG. Actually, BKG means the background. Yes, background. Yeah, also the 3D HDR low latency, and also the fiber. So we could say we just raise lots of products to you guys. Means that you could choose the one which is really fit for you to use on your project. All right, let's see the summary here. For the 4K solution, we have 3 levels. Actually, we have 3 levels. The first one is the 1080p level. 1080p level. We could just choose independent controller like MCTRL 660 or 600. Also, we could just choose the all-in-one controller by what? VX4S, Pro HD, right? That is. And what else? Just using loop, DVR loop. And then you could just do the mosaic. All right, let's see the next level, the 4K by 1K level. For this kind of project, we do have the R5 now. Yeah, you may say you have the VX6S at VX1000. Yeah, something like that. For this point, we only focus on the solution here. Yes, for the 4K by 1K level, it got the independent controller like MCTRL R5. Still, we need the video splicer on the front side. And next, the last level is 4K by 2K level. That's just supports the 4K resolution, just one device. Yes, still we have the independent controller like MCTRL 4K, and also we have the all-in-one controller, Nova Pro UHD Junior or Nova Pro UHD. And also we have another product like H series, H2, H5, H9. Yes, it all really good for the real 4K solution. All right, let's say what is next. After this 4K and the 4K solution, let's say what is the advanced thing. The 4K and the HDR, the high dynamic range. All right, let's say what about the traditional HDR solution? Yes, the 4K LED screen, it should have the HDR because it will get the better display effect. Okay, let's see this diagram here. First of all, what we need is HDR resource or the HDR player to provide the HDR source. And then we use the HDMI splitter to the 4K UHD. Someone will ask, this is only 4K screen here, but why we need 2 devices to load it? Actually, for the HDR features, once you turn it on, the loading capacity of the funding card will be half, yes, half value than before. You just cut to half. So for the MCTRL 4K here, it could only load 4K by 1K resolution here. And also for the HDR features, for now, we have the MCTRL 4K and also the A8S and A10S Plus. Those 2 kind of receiving cards just support the HDR features. That's all. That's all. This is a traditional HDR solution. And still, NovaStar just raised a new product, the HDR Master 4K. HDR Master 4K. That's actually it's kind of new product. So let's say what it can do. Now for the HDR Master 4K solution, you will just say, we only got a device named HDR Master 4K here, but for the video source, you see that's just the SDR camera or SDR video. So that means this HDR Master 4K could just convert the SDR format to the HDR format. Yes, that's the diagram. Let's say, yes, this is the SDR and 8-bit and BD709. And then through this HDR master 4K, and it will just convert to HDR 10-bit and BT2020. All right, let's see the configuration here. For the HDR and SDR, you will just find the HDR get more vivid pictures here. Yeah, and still we have another product that supports the HDR features. Yeah, for just for 2K LED screen. Because the customers just asking the HDR features, but still they have the 4K or 2K or even less than 2K screens. So we got the multiple choices here for you. Still, we could choose the MCTRL 660 Pro to run the HDR here. All right, let's say the HDR. What if the device doesn't support the HDR features? Still, we give the SDR in, and the sending card doesn't support HDR features, and what it will be. Actually, we don't call that HDR. We call that enhanced SDR. Enhanced SDR. Still, it got the more vivid quality on the display than SDR, on the original SDR. All right, this is the product about the HDR Master 4K. So what it can do, HDR source creation, convert SDR to HDR, supports HDR10 and HLG, that the format. And the image enhancement, support HDR image quality with 8-bit output, and image dynamic range enhanced engine, Super Wheel 3 technology. For the other functions, support input format detections, format conversion, and 4K level scaler. So for this HDR, these really good choices. So that's all the things about the 4K solution and the splicing, and also how we create the project. That's all the things here. Please just, if you got any questions, leave to the chat room, and we will just help you and answer it later. All right, this is all the things about today's training about the 4K. Thank you.